more focusing on matters of the heart this week in honor of Valentine's Day Friday.
And fittingly enough, federal health experts have just made a major announcement regarding pain medications that you and I probably take every day. A Food and Drug Administration advisory panel says the pain reliever found in Aleve, and many other medications for that matter, may not be safer on your heart.
That's right. The panel says naproxen does not appear to lower the risk of heart attack and stroke compared to other anti-inflammatory medications like ibuprofen, which is sold under the brand names Advil and Motrin. Now, federal health experts say recent studies about naproxen's potential benefits are inconclusive and do not warrant label changes.
Now, when it comes to your heart, well, it's best to be in the know. It's not something you want to take lightly.
And our next guest knows all about it. Mike Hall is a five-time world weightlifting drug-free champion, one of the strongest men alive. But even the strongest man can fall victim to a massive heart attack, and that's exactly what happened to Mike. He says it was a weight he just couldn't lift.
It was no ordinary heart attack. Mike suffered what's commonly known as the widowmaker, known as the mother of all heart attacks.
And according to Peninsula Regional Medical Center, this type of heart attack is known for its high mortality rate. In fact, the American Heart Association says the survival rate is only 5%.
Well, fortunately, Mike was a part of that 5%. As a matter of fact, we are happy to welcome him back to Delmarva Live today. Mike, thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful to have you.
Yes. Mike, now last time you were here, you were talking about your mission to help kids become athletes without using steroids.
Yes.
A lot has changed since then.
Yes, it has.
Take us back to that day, what, 2 months ago, almost to the day.
Yes, it was December 13th, Friday morning. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I got out of bed and I felt a heartburn, and so I tried to. I walked to the living room to try to get to relieve the belch up. But when I tried to do it, it wouldn't. I couldn't belch. It's the way I wanted to really belch. I raised my hand. I sat down. It stood up, and guess what? It just started to tighten up more and more. So I got that doomy feeling. And I said, well, you know, something's not right. I know my body. So I went to the back room to put some clothes on. My wife woke up and she said, what's wrong? She said, do you need to go to the hospital? I said, I believe so. But as I reached down to put my socks on, I started to sweat. And that was my second sign that something's just not right. So we proceeded to the hospital. My wife was my hero. She drove 100 miles per hour. We went to the hospital. And by the time they admitted me in, and they took me to the ER room, and I got up on the gurney. I went in cardiac arrest.
Wow.
So it took about 8 minutes to get to the hospital. Yeah.
8 precious minutes, I
8
imagine.
precious months. Timing was everything.
And you were actually gone 3 times.
Right. They had to bring me back 3 times. 3 times that, you know, by the grace of God, 3 times. The first time they brought me back, I just thanked them, and then I went back out a second time, and I really, you know, just again thanked them. And under my breath, I said I couldn't let the kids down, and that's always been my motivation. My girls, my beautiful girls, the children that God has allowed me to speak to, over 1,000 kids. I kept thinking about that, you know, and. But the third time when I went out, before I went out, I just, I didn't really know. I thought about my kids, my daughter, my wife, and it's almost as though as God stepped back a little bit. But I think it was just so He can show me that, guess what? I'm your coach.
So when you heard later the term widowmaker, what'd you think?
Well, I was thankful, Jimmy. I was thankful. I was blessed. I just think about all the people that didn't survive it, and why me, God? And then I thought of the reason why, that I'm one of His champions, and He's pleased of the works that He has allowed me to do.
You had a 100% blockage. That's amazing.
Yes. Yes, I had 100% blockage, and as I told the doctors, I didn't feel anything. I work out every day. You know, I work out every day. I didn't really feel any kind of angina attack. And they were just mentioning maybe because I do work out every day. I lost 150 pounds for another reason, for But he said that hopefully maybe some of the other arteries were collaborating with the other arteries that helped to keep it going until finally they don't know why. They don't know if it's because of the fact that my blood pressure went up, maybe calcified plaque that broke loose, and of course blocked it 100%.
Right.
So has this entire event made some huge changes for you?
Yes, Jimmy, some huge changes. My wife and everyone has to hide the dumbbells, you know.
Aw,
So, I can't lift a dog, so
that has to be tough.
it's real tough because at 57, all my life, the record that God has allowed me to do, the accomplishments. So it's hard. It's hard because that's when I feel the weight, I feel every element in it. That's what allowed me to be #1 in the world. So to be able to say that, you can't lift more than 10 pounds, very frustrating, but I'm going to do my best to get over it and try to keep myself in cardiovascular shape and continue to find answers of why not 10 pounds,
Yeah.
whereas,
Okay.
so.
So huge impact on you personally. What about your family?
Yes, my family, my girls. I want it so bad because my daughter just won the conference swimming championships up in Lake Forest and won the Vince Morris Award. And I didn't know whether I was going to be able to go. But guess what? I felt good. I went. My girls, when I see them come in the hospital, it was like, thank you, Jesus. Because at my the third time when they brought me back, when they were trying to bring me back, I wondered what I was going to ever get to say goodbye to them. And so I thank God that not only, in a way, I guess I'm glad that I had that 3 cardiac, but guess what, on the 3rd day, God let me walk out.
How
So
about
I'm
that?
thankful for that.
If there's one message you could give to others after this event, what would it be?
It will be know your numbers. Know your numbers. Recognize the symptoms the best you can, because mine started with a heartburn, a simple heartburn. Know your numbers, get your checkups, and stay in shape, because staying in shape is, I think, in the years of being physical, allow me to recover faster and be able to come out in 3 days and be able to stay strong. So that would be the message I would give them, and keep the faith.
Keep the faith.
Yes.
Mike Hall, 5-time world champion, strongest
Thank you.
drug-free
Yes.
man. Thank you,
Thank
Mike,
you.
so much.
Look good, thank you.
Wonderful having you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, we've just heard Mike's story, but Peninsula Regional Medical Center cautions symptoms of a heart attack can vary from person to person.
Yeah, they can be mild or severe. And according to PRMC, women, the elderly, and people with diabetes are more likely to have subtle or unusual symptoms. PRMC says heart attack symptoms in adults include changes in mental status, particularly in the elderly, chest pain that feels like pressure, squeezing, or fullness. It's usually in the center of the chest. Numbness, aching or tingling in the arm, usually the left arm, and weakness or fatigue, particularly in the elderly.
Now, remember that, because if you or someone around you experiences those symptoms, you need to call 911 and do it right now. If you'd like to read more about PRMC, about heart attack prevention and causes, all you have to do is go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
A more pleasant feeling in your heart is that of love, but there are still so many people who are looking to find that special someone. Up next, advice from serial daters on how to find your one true love.
And once your heart flutters with love, well, why not sweeten them up with some of these treats? We're going to get Valentine's Day gift ideas a little bit later on. Delmarva Life will be right back.